Thanks for visiting our YouTube channel. Here are the latest NBA playoffs updates for games result today, NBA game schedule for tomorrow, and the updated NBA playoffs picture standings as of today, April 23, 2025.
NBA playoffs games result today, April 23, 2025. In the first of 3 NBA games played today, the NBA Eastern Conference 4th-seeded Indiana Pacers beats the Milwaukee Bucks once again, as they now established a 2-0 lead in their best-of-7 NBA playoffs first-round series, winning game number 2 with the final score of 123-115. The Indiana Pacers led by as much as 15 points in the fourth quarter, but Milwaukee puts up a comeback to trim the lead down to just 2 points with a triple by Damian Lillard, but the Pacers managed to make clutch baskets in the end to get the victory. Pascal Siakam led the Indiana Pacers in scoring with 24 points, along with 11 rebounds, followed by Tyrese Halliburton with 21 points along with 12 assists, and Andrew Nembhard was clutch in the end, finishing with 17 points and 6 assists. For Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo had another dominant game, finishing with 34 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Bobby Portis Jr. added 28 points along with 12 rebounds. The NBA East 4th-seeded Indiana Pacers now leads in their best-of-7 NBA Eastern Conference first-round series against the 5th-seeded Milwaukee Bucks, 2-0. In the second game, the NBA and Western Conference top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder crushes the Memphis Grizzlies once again, and now have a 2-0 lead in their best-of-7 NBA playoffs first-round matched up, winning game number 2 with the final score of 118-99. The Oklahoma City Thunder showed how dominant they are right from opening tip with the right combination of offensive and defensive prowess as they cruise to yet another easy win. Strong NBA MVP contender Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Oklahoma City Thunder in scoring with 27 points, along with 8 rebounds and 5 assists, followed by Jalen Williams' 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, and a double-double game from Chet Holmgren with 20 points and 11 rebounds. For Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. led the Grizzlies in scoring with 26 points along with 6 rebounds, and Ja Morant added 23 points and 6 assists. The NBA Western Conference top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder now leads in their best-of-7 first-round series versus the 8th-seeded Memphis Grizzlies, 2-0. And in the third and final NBA playoff match played today, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and the rest of the NBA Western Conference third-seed Los Angeles Lakers gets even in their best-of-7 West first round matched up versus the 6th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves, with a 94-85 victory in game number 2 at home at the Crypto.com Arena. The Los Angeles Lakers showed tenacity on the defensive end right from the start, as they limit the Minnesota Timberwolves to just 85 points, and limit the Wolves to only 5 3-point shots made, after the Wolves made 21 threes in Game 1. Luka Doncic in playoff mode is in full display in this game, finishing with an almost triple-double performance with 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists, followed by a great game as well from the King, LeBron James, who added 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, and Austin Reeves' 16 points. For Minnesota, Julius Randle led the Timberwolves in scoring with 27 points along with 6 assists, and Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, added 25 points along with 6 rebounds. The NBA Western Conference third-seeded Los Angeles Lakers and the West 6th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves are now tied in their best-of-7 NBA playoffs West matchup with 1 game each.
Now join me and let's take a quick and closer look at the updated 2025 NBA playoffs bracket standings as of today, April 23, 2025.
The Eastern and Western Conference NBA playoffs bracket standings, as of today, April 23, 2025. The NBA Eastern Conference number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers are currently leading their NBA playoffs East first-round series against the number 8 Miami Heat, 1-0. Meanwhile, the NBA East number 2 Boston Celtics are also leading their NBA playoffs East first-round matched up versus the 7th-seeded Orlando Magic, 1-0. The NBA Eastern Conference third-seeded New York Knicks are currently tied in their best-of-7 NBA playoffs East first-round series against the East number 6 Detroit Pistons with 1 game each And for the final pair of NBA playoff series in the Eastern Conference, the fourth-seeded Indiana Pacers are now up 2-0 in their best-of-7 NBA playoffs first round matched up against the fifth-seeded Milwaukee Bucks after holding on to a victory earlier today. The Pacers-Bucks series will now shift to Milwaukee for game number 3 that will be played on April 26th at the Fiserv Forum Center in Milwaukee. In the Western Conference, the NBA and West top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder currently leads their best-of-7 Western Conference first-round NBA playoff series versus the West number 8 Memphis Grizzlies, 2-0, where both games were won by OKC in a dominant fashion. The Thunder versus Grizzlies series will now shift to Memphis for game number 3 that will be played on April 27th at the FedEx Forum Center in Memphis. Meanwhile, the NBA Western Conference second-seeded Houston Rockets are currently down in their West first round, matched up versus the very experienced Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler-led seventh-seeded Golden State Warriors, 0-1. The NBA Western Conference third-seeded LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers are now currently tied in their best-of-7 West NBA playoffs first round matched up after winning game number 2 today versus the sixth-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves, and their series is now tied with 1 game each. The Lakers versus Timberwolves series will now shift in Minnesota for game number 3, that will be played at the Target Center on April 26th. And for the final pair in NBA Western Conference, the West fourth-seeded Denver Nuggets are tied with the fifth-seeded Los Angeles Clippers in their own best-of-7 NBA playoffs West first-round series, with 1 game each.
The NBA playoffs will have another 3 very exciting NBA basketball games tomorrow, and here is the full NBA playoff schedule for tomorrow, April 24, 2025.
NBA playoffs games scheduled for tomorrow, April 24th, 2025. For the first of 3 NBA playoffs games scheduled for today, the reigning NBA defending champions and the Eastern Conference second-seeded Boston Celtics will be gunning for win number 2 as they host the East 7th-seeded Orlando Magic in game number 2 of their NBA Eastern Conference first-round playoffs matched up. Tip-off for the Celtics versus Magic NBA Live game number 2 will be at 7 in the morning at the TD Garden Arena in Boston. And in the second game, the NBA Eastern Conference number 1 team at the end of the NBA regular season, the Cleveland Cavaliers, will be playing at home for game number 2 versus the East number 8 Miami Heat in their first-round playoff series, as the Cavaliers will also be looking to win back-to-back at home. Tip-off for the Cavs versus Heat NBA Live game number 2 will be at 7:30 in the morning at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland. And for the third and final NBA playoff game scheduled for tomorrow, the Western Conference second-seeded Houston Rockets will look to bounce back after losing in Game 1 to regain the home court advantage as they battle against the West 7th seed Golden State Warriors in game number 2 of their West first-round NBA playoffs matched up, where the Golden State Warriors are currently leading the series 1-0. Tip-off for the Rockets versus Warriors NBA Live game number 2 will be at 9:30 in the morning at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Let's all watch the NBA Live games, guys.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to give us a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel iForb Sports, and hit that notification bell icon para updated ka lagi sa PBA at NBA playoffs happenings araw-araw. Let's play some balls. Peace out.